and then just that whole
That whole
fucking section just
was just the horses. It's just all whites too. All whites. That's it.
no, like I mean,
Come
it's
back.
the most iconic of them, but like I wouldn't rock them. Like I had my time with Air Force white on whites. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's
I'll have a pair of. I feel like as a black man, if you don't got a pair of all whites, if you don't got a white on whites, you gotta pull your card. We gotta pull your card. I'm going to give me some sushi, some sake,
bro.
and
Really?
just live life.
Sushi on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
So my stepdad owns a ramen house in Royal Oak, and that's so funny you said that because they just posted on. They're like, we're doing like a 8 to 9 roll sushi platter for like $65 for the Super Bowl, and I was like, bro, that sounds delicious. So I might do that
yeah,
too.
That do sound good, but I ain't driving all the way to Royal Oak to go get no sushi. I'm about to say, tell your dad put my order in. Your stepdad put my order in, but nah, I can't make that trip.
Do you just like traditional like raw, or do you do like the deep fried rolls with all the crazy shit on it?
Yeah, so I do like the tempura a little bit more. Like my favorite is like the Las Vegas roll.
With a
Like I
jalapeno on top,
love.
Mo?
Oh, come on, talk dirty to me with the cream cheese. It's so
Oh,
good.
bro, that is my shit. The Las Vegas roll, man.
Man, love that one, man.
That shit is good. But yeah, it just depends. Usually I have to get one roll that's like crazy like that, and one roll that's just like
Yeah,
a straight up raw, like, a
yeah.
rainbow roll
I'll
or
do
something
some
like
raw
that.
stuff too. Yeah, I don't mind it, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
It's a good
go.
idea, man. I might also have to do the same. I think you just convinced me. I might go pick up a platter
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Pop me an edible and on down.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be a good Sunday for you. Yeah, I think the spread's at 3 or 3.5. It's been fluctuating back and forth, but like it's always in the
Yeah,
favor of the Chiefs, which I don't know, man. It's like I want the Chiefs obviously, and to me it was like a given throughout the season. And even when they won against the Saints, I was like, now I kind of hope the Bucks make it to the Super Bowl so they get trounced by the Chiefs. But now that we're there, I'm like, bro, like I'm kind of getting some, cold feet. I'm like, I don't know. They're missing their 2 starting tackles, right?
it's huge. That's huge.
I mean,
It's
with those
huge.
dogs they have on the defensive line, like that's critical. I don't
It
know what else to
is.
say.
It is. I mean, but even Mahomes against pressure, it's not like he's pretty good against pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it'll be interesting how things go. You know what I mean? Because if they give help over the top with Tariq Hill, and they try to find a way to bracket Kelsey, you're putting so much attention to those two, neglecting the fact that you're just hoping McCall Hardman don't go off, Sammy Watkins don't go off, Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't go off. So if like
Yep.
you put so much attention on just those two, which it makes sense that you would, it's gonna be tough. But like, and then we gotta think about like you're bracketing Travis Kelsey with like linebackers.
Yeah, you
He's
have
been
to.
burning linebackers all season. So like
Well, what's your plan with Tyreek Hill? Like, do you have a safety coming over the top that's going to watch
you
him from
have
going
to.
north and south? And then,
You have to.
but I'm thinking like your best bet is to box him in, right? So have a corner play him on the inside. I would rather him get sideline like out routes than him catch something in the middle of the field and,
Yeah, and they
have
have
any direction
room
to
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, but the thing is that everybody's worrying about him going deep. They have other things that they can put him in a slot that makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of do things like that. Get him moving. They have sweeps that they can do, receiver screens. Like there's
mm-hmm.
a ton of stuff that they can bubble route. Like so, there's a ton of stuff that they can do with him, which makes them so deadly to where the bracketing that they may try to do or to help over the top is not going to always be there. It's not going to always be available because they can put him in so many different places.
Exactly. Anytime you scheme for anything, you can never, it's going to be like, it's going to break sometimes. Like you just got to, be willing to take it as it comes.
We're dealing with Bruce Arians. Like,
yeah. You mean, what's his name?
Or not Bruce Arians. I mean, Bruce Arians is a good offensive coordinator,
but he's no, what the hell's his name? Andy Reid.
Yeah. Reid is
I mean, for my money, him
him
and
and the
Sean Payton,
enemy.
bro. Those are the two like offensive gurus of the
Him and the
NFL.
enemy, like Reed and the enemy, they know what I like about it is like it's almost like every time Mahomes comes up to the line, they're having some type of pre-snap movement to kind of read, okay, what type of defense are they in, so they can determine like, okay, now that we got that, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, like I hear like on first take, not first take, undisputed. Skip is, I think, because he's a big Brady fan, he's already trying to like paint the excuse picture, but he's trying to say that he thinks top to bottom the Chiefs are more talented, and like I think offensively it's pretty close, but I'd say the Chiefs have the nod. But as a whole team, I have to say the
It's
Bucks are
the
better,
Bucks that's the
bro.
best. They have
Yeah,
they're the
their
what? They're
D
the
is
only
stacked.
team. I mean, they're what? If I'm not mistaken, they're the only team that was what, top 5 in both offense and defense.
I mean, the Chiefs D is not that good. Let's just be honest. Like, it's not
No,
horrible. They got some good
no, they're just
personnel, but they don't perform the best. So,
they're kind of middle of the road type of defense. So
but can they get a pass
um
rush on Brady? Is like that to me is the key to the whole game. Like, it's
yeah, I think it could. I think they can. I mean, Jones starts to show up in big games. Frank Clark starts to show up in big games. Like they just, if you find ways to kind of show up in games, and they've had chances to really kind of look at that offensive line, see what Brady does, to kind of, and then they had that game, the what was it, the Week 12 matchup that they can go
yeah.
back and look at. So I'm excited. That's all I know is I'm
No, me
excited.
too. Like, this is probably the most excited I've been to for a Super Bowl in a long time. I mean, the narrative of alone. Uh, wow, it's
Yeah.
just two great teams, man. And like, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't know who did because a lot of people just trust Brady. But going into the playoffs, I did not think the Bucks would be on the NFC side of it. That just was not what I pictured.
I mean, we all figured that it'd be, well, at least, when you and I spoke, it was Rodgers, right? Like,
I thought Green Bay would. I mean, when the Bucks beat the Saints, I remember. Yeah, I was saying like, okay, well now you guys get to get killed by the Packers, so like whatever.
yeah.
Like, and then sure
And I
enough,
think
man.
it's not like it almost didn't happen. Like just a couple of bad decisions by the coaches, and I think we have a different story. But it happened, and we're at where we're at. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited. Like,
Well, okay, what are the implications for like the legacies of both these quarterbacks, though?
I mean, nothing's gonna affect Tom Brady's legacy. Like
Agreed.
it's solidified, right?
Bro,
That's
he
almost
was
like
the
saying,
greatest after. I don't even think the last one was. I think when he came back against Atlanta for his fifth, I was like, he's the greatest. Like,
yeah,
it's all gravy.
yeah. And then that Super Bowl against the Rams was just, it was a joke.
Most boring Super Bowl ever.
But yeah, I mean, it's solidified. It's like almost saying like LeBron James like legacy isn't solidified right now.
Hmm.
How you people may rank LeBron, that may be in debate or whatever, but it's in the top. It's top 2, but or with some people it may be top 3, depending on where people kind of grade Kobe. But
I
as
mean, we can get
far
into that later,
as
but that's a weird thing too. Some people have Kobe right there, and then other people are like Kobe's like 10. You know what I mean? So it's a
yeah,
weird
which how
thing.
you put Kobe in
I,
10?
I
Okay,
yeah, I
anyway,
don't.
we can talk about that. But as far as Brady, it's solidified. I mean, he's the GOAT, right? Like
Easy.
he's that, right? And so, but I don't think it's gonna hurt Mahomes if he doesn't win.
I don't think so either, man. But everyone else is like, he can never be the GOAT if he doesn't win this. I'm like, bro,
And I don't see it that way. I think like look at this 3-year stretch that he's had, right? He's been to the AFC Championship,
almost won that
won
game,
almost won that, but pre-snap penalty fucks that up for him,
and then he didn't get a
right?
chance in overtime. Like,
Yeah,
it's
didn't get a
it's
chance to even
just
go back in overtime, which that's not his fault. His
no,
defense just
exactly.
couldn't get a stop,
Yep.
right? Win league MVP, win the Super Bowl the following year, and then you're back in the Super Bowl the next year.
Well, this is what I've been telling my friends. We've been talking about it all week. Like, bro, if Mahomes wins this Sunday, and obviously he's not going to, but I just like for the sake of argument, he could retire and already be a top 10 greatest quarterback that's ever played. Dude, who has two
Off
Super
of a
Bowls?
3-4
Who
year
has two
stretch.
Super
Yeah.
Bowls? Like that's insane. Like
Just in a 3-year stretch. Been to an AFC championship and 2 Super Bowls.
yeah. I mean,
They were talking about it like, could he retire right now and go into the Hall of Fame?
yeah. How can he not?
Well, I think it's just because the longevity, right? Like I think there is that sense of you have to have some type of longevity. Is it just like a lightning in a bottle type of thing, or can you consistently do this
That's
over a
fair.
period of time? And I think that's what kind of makes someone in like an all-time level elite individual. Not to say that Mahomes isn't that. We know he's on the trajectory for that, but to do that in a span of 3 years and still make it to the Hall of Fame,
Well, where do you
it's
draw the
tough.
line, Mo? Like what? So through what if he wins next year too? Because then if he retired, would he be in the Hall of Fame?
Let me ask you this: when Brady was doing it, will people say like he was after his like third what's name? Was he going to the Hall
Oh,
of Fame?
when Brady was throwing for 160 yards in his Super Bowl wins in his first three, no, he was not a fucking Hall of Famer. God damn it.
Great, I know that, but the game has changed a lot since Brady initially like got into it, right?
Definitely
It
more of
was
a passers league, most
yeah, you
definitely.
know what I mean. But I would if he wins it, like if he wins this year and next year, I think it's like, all right, like now we have to stop playing and be like, is he really like the greatest of all time?
I He can't be the greatest of all time after three. Like he needs to get to six. Like that's like I don't think. I already think he's the best I've ever seen. You know what I mean? I always try to distinguish that with people no matter what sport we're talking about. Like there's a difference
Mm-hmm.
between greatest and like the most skilled or best. And
Yeah,
Mahomes is yeah, like the best quarterback I've ever seen. And I'm
yeah,
young,
because
but I
he is he has this like you mentioned it last time. He has like this Favre like quality about him, right? Where he's gonna sling it,
but he's
but he
like a
has the
composed.
accuracy. Yeah, like he has the accuracy of Rodgers and the touch of Rodgers and everything, but then he still has like almost like the game management and elite, like being able to see the field of like a Peyton or a Brady and stuff like that, where
Yep.
they can just see things happening. So it's like he has, and then he has the athletic ability, maybe not of someone like a Lamar, but he still has enough escapability to get out of pockets and run
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Like that's how they won
exactly.
last year was him, running for first downs and running for 30 yards on plays and stuff. So his skill set is crazy. You know what's going to be interesting because Mahomes is lighting it up. Be interesting to see how many more college coaches start to go look for players that are baseball players to try to see if they can turn them into being
Bro,
quarterbacks.
that's such a good point,
Murray,
man.
Stafford, like these guys played baseball. I think even Russell Wilson
Russ.
played
Yeah.
baseball.
I think he
They
got
all played
drafted
baseball.
to the MLB too.
Yeah.
But that dude, that's so funny you said that because that's what I tell people. I'm like, when you watch Mahomes throw, man, he looks like a third baseman whipping it over to first
Yeah.
after like scooping up a ground ball. That's just that sidearm,
Mm-hmm.
like perfect release at the perfect release point. It's like picture perfect, bro. I've never seen anything like it.
And it's quick.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. That's why I can't like any other quarterback. I'd be really worried about these two tackles being out just because he's so elusive and he almost thrives more when it's a broken play and he has to
Yeah.
elude the pocket. And like my favorite thing about him is like he doesn't take off running until that last split second of like there's no one open. Like his eyes are
Yeah.
downfield as he's running to that line of scrimmage the whole time. Like where is
Yeah.
everyone? Like and then if no one's there, then he'll go. But
They'll
if
go
not,
off.
he's slinging it. Like it's
Oh yeah, because that's the thing is that's when Tariq Hill is the deadliest. Is
yep,
when it's a broken play, and because typically broken plays mean that at some point the defense is going to break down because they don't plan on having to guard somebody, especially with the speed of Tariq Hill, for like 7 to 9 seconds. Like that's just they don't expect that. So he starts to come back, and then Mahomes is like, "No, like
yep,
go."
keep going.
And
Yep.
then that's when it's a 90-yard bomb. You know what I mean? So yeah, I cannot
Me
wait.
neither, man.
I'm so
Like
excited.
so pumped. It just
Like I took Monday off.
it should be a holiday, bro. The fucking Super
Like
Bowl.
seriously,
Like,
why
what are
why
we
are we doing
doing?
this?
Yeah, like, come on. Like, I can't get drunk, like, or too drunk. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this,
Right, because now I have to go work the next day. Come on, what are we doing?
especially if Brady wins, I'm gonna be hungover and heartbroken. I'm just gonna
There.
be like, baggy eyes and just fucking don't talk to me.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear who was it that was on? They showed the clip. I forget the he was a defensive player, and he was talking about how one of the guys was sitting there crying in the locker room after
Oh
they won.
yeah.
He was like,
The fuck you
"What you
crying?
crying for? We still got work to do. Like, wipe that shit up and let's go."
Hey man,
Like, I'm like,
I will
that's
always
funny.
say, even though I'm a critic, I love that fire that Brady
Oh
has.
yeah,
Like that,
his
that's awesome.
intensity is bar
Like that
none
pumped me
probably
up
some of the
reading
best.
that. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
I love it.
man.
I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one, man. And it's just, a lot rides on it. And if Kansas City wins, like, does this jumpstart a dynasty for them? What's
Easily.
the implications for Brady if he loses? I just think that makes him more hungry, and he's gonna,
Oh, he's gonna come back. He'll probably come
yeah.
back for like another 2 years. If he wins, I think he'll probably come back next year to see if they can run it back. And if they don't, I think he'll retire. But if they lose, I think he'll still come back for maybe like 2 more years and really try to play until he's 45.
He could win 8 Super Bowls, bro. Like that's. I know you've seen
That's
that stat. Like he's made more, or it's more likely he makes a Super Bowl than Steph Curry hits a three. Like that's insane. That is, it's
it's sick.
true. Like
It's true, but it's also because of the fact that like you, the number of attempts is just different though, right? Like
oh yeah,
he only gets one attempt at this every season. Steph could
yep.
take like 20 attempts at threes in a game, right? So
No,
it's not
exactly.
fair,
No, I get
but
that.
it is. I mean, it's crazy though.
And then that Mahomes stat, which I posted on our Instagram. Shout out at the
Hey,
Catchweight Pod. Give us a follow. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
get them
Got to add
followers
that in
up.
there. Yeah, exactly. But I put that on our Instagram, bro. That stat is nuts. It's like Mahomes is now going to be in 2 Super Bowls before he's even lost by more than one score in an NFL game. Like that is absolutely unbelievable.
It's
Like what the hell do you do with that, man? Like that is,
it's insane.
man. Those were 9 really bad mistakes that went in that draft before he did, bro. Like, that is horrible.
Terrible.
Didn't like Trubisky go before him?
No, that was before Deshaun.
Okay,
That was
gotcha.
before Deshaun.
Yeah,
He was a part of. Wait, was that the same draft class?
I thought it was, but you might be right. I don't know. I think there was a couple that went before him, and it was just like, yo, that sucks.
Because was he a part of that?
Well, let's see. This is his 3rd playing season, and then his rookie year he sat behind
No, I
Alex
thought it was
Smith.
the 4th one because the first year he sat behind Alex.
Yeah, so this is his 3rd season playing. His first season he played, or he didn't play. He sat behind Alex Smith. Yep. So he would have came in 4 or 5 years ago then. So whenever
Let
that
me see.
draft
He
was,
got
15,
drafted in
16.
2007.
It's 2007.
Or sorry, 2017. Like, what are you talking about?
So who went in front of him?
So number 1 overall was Myles Garrett, and then Christian McCaffrey was 8th overall. Pat Mahomes was 10th, and
Was there
then
no
Deshaun was
quarterbacks in front of
12th.
him?
Huh?
Was there no quarterbacks in front of?
Let me see. So Trubisky was 2. So you're right.
Chicago? Why is Chicago so stupid, bro? Like
Like just dumb.
they're idiots, man. They always have a good deal. I'll give them that. But God, just that organization
Yeah,
kicking them, man.
really
Well,
dumb. I mean, even Jacksonville, they picked up Leonard Fournette.
yeah. I mean, he had a couple good years.
Awkward.
Yeah, all of those are just mistakes, man. Like it
They
doesn't
are
matter how.
Corey Davis, Tennessee Titans. And that's when Tennessee had Marcus Mariota.
Bro. Speaking of, just a quick side note, the Titans, AJ Brown, you heard it here first. He is going to be a top 5 receiver in this league. I don't know if you've seen him play.
Easily.
That dude is a monster. Absolute animal. Like
he was going crazy against the Ravens.
yeah. Yep. He had like one catch outside the 10 and just bulldozed like 3 guys in the end zone. I was like, bro,
man,
this dude's a man amongst boys out here. So watch out for him. But we got to talk about that Brett Favre comment about Deshaun. I want to hear what you have to say.
So, so for those that didn't hear what Brett Favre said, so he mentioned something like that, like as players, that you just make too much money, to be sitting here complaining about, your situation. Like you make way too much money for that. Like just, go play,
Yep.
go play. And it's almost kind of like very resemblant of the whole Laura Ingram thing when she told LeBron, like, just, her and Katie to shut up and dribble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy about it is because he's a player, right? And he's been in a situation where he had disagreements with what the organization did,
Bro, he
right?
requested a trade. Like, what are you talking about?
Right? Like let's not pretend like you weren't in the situation is not similar, but you look at his situation where like what happened when they drafted Aaron Rodgers when he was still kind of like in his prime, and he was upset about it. So to tell Deshaun like just go and play, like, dude,
Yeah, I agree
like
with you, man.
you pushing it, like, and I think what players are starting to understand, what players like Brett Favre, like during their generation, didn't understand is like they're taking control over their careers. And they're not just going to sit back and let the organization tell them, like, oh, this is the way you have to do this, or this is,
Yep.
you do it our way, you got to go. Like Deshaun knows that he is a hot commodity
Yep.
and anybody would want them on their team. And so it's like, would I rather stay here and be miserable knowing that like you're trading away assets that I could use? You got me with coaches that are just sending players that I like. The organization is just a mess. Like, why would I want to stay here and continue to lose? Like you had one of your franchise pillars go up to him at the end of the season and like, we wasted one of your years. Like JJ Watt went to him and said, we
Yep.
wasted one of yours. Even JJ Watt understands that like it's not a
Yep.
good situation in Texas,
No.
in Houston right now with the Texans. So like I'm not gonna blame Deshaun for wanting that and wanting to
No.
get out. Like it doesn't benefit him to stay there.
No, I agree. I think that just more points it towards like Favre was out of line with that. I'm a big Favre fan, but like again, and I think Deshaun's agent tweeted. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it was pretty close to something like Brett should probably stop throwing stones from the glass house he sits in. I was like, pretty much, bro. You asked for a trade, and then you went through that debacle of those couple years where you wouldn't tell them if you were retired, like you were retired, and then right when training camp would happen, you'd be like, "Hey, I'm
I'm
back."
back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
out of line. But when I was reading about this, I found out something, and maybe you remember this because I do not. And it's crazy because this could have changed the course of like football history from those late 2000s to early 2010 years. I read that in 2007, Favre was upset because they wouldn't trade a fifth round pick for Randy Moss. And he had recruited him in the offseason. Like he wanted to come there. And they would, I don't know if that was when Moss was in Oakland or something and he was having, personal trouble, whatever was going on with him, but they wouldn't give up a fifth rounder for Randy. And then the next season he went to the Patriots and scored those 23 touchdowns and they went to the Super Bowl.
you over here dropping you dropping
Bro,
bombs like
yeah,
that?
man. I had never heard this before, but I just read that today and was like, dog, what the hell? Can you imagine? Like, that is insane.
That'd been nasty.
So
That'd been a
holy
nasty
crap,
matchup.
man. The Packers are just,
Dumb.
God, that's
Dumb.
crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
I think Randy Moss is the GOAT, to be honest with you, at receiver. So, I mean,
Come on now. That's not even a discussion. It's like,
just for some
and
people.
I don't see why. Like Randy he just made it look so easy and literally just effortless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He had the size, he had the hands, he had the speed, the athleticism. Like come on, man.
And the personality.
Right. Like it was must
He's
see
my
TV.
favorite ever too. And like I get the Jerry Rice argument, like the stats are and you got to give something to someone who has that much discipline to play that long, and stay that healthy, especially back then. Like that's not like modern, medicine
Because they don't
today.
have the
Like,
modern. Yeah, they don't have the
yeah.
modern science.
But so of course, like Jerry, nothing
It's
but
up there.
respect. But like
It's up
I
there.
just mean like kind of in the same way that I'd argue Tiger's the best golfer ever over Jack Nicklaus, even though Jack Nicklaus had more majors. Tiger
Yeah.
had that stretch of dominance that was just like, bro, this is the greatest golfer ever. And that's how I look at Randy. When I saw him in his prime, it was like, dude, this is the best receiver that's ever lived. Like
Yeah.
this dude.
I mean, and you also look at like the level of the competition too.
Yep.
Right? Like Jack Nicklaus, like he drove people to want to go and play Golf, and so it was a tougher competition.
Yep.
You look at Tiger now, like look at the people that he drove to go play golf, right?
Right.
Like he drove athletes to go. Like Brooks Koepka is a big dude,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
DeChambeau, big dude.
That is
Like
true.
these are
Yeah,
some
like these
good, and
athletes.
yeah, now you have these athletes that are going to play sports that you probably wouldn't see them. No, you can see these guys. They're probably playing like baseball or something.
No, exactly. You're right.
So,
That's true, man. We should probably talk about Detroit a little bit too, since we wrapped last week, and then the next day we find out that
E,
that Stafford gets traded for Goff, 2 first-round picks in the future, right, and a third-round pick or something
yep,
like that. I think
yep,
that was what it
yep.
was. Wow. Like I know we were talking about last time how it was, in the air that it was going to happen, but that was seriously not even on my radar. I didn't expect that in the
I didn't
slightest.
think it would be either, but it makes sense to be honest. Now that we kind of sat back and had some time to digest it. Like you go and play for one of the bright young coaches in the league that a lot of people respect him as an offensive
Mhm.
minded guy, and I think you pair that with the arm talent that Stafford has. Everybody can agree and understand that Matt Stafford, at least from a talent standpoint, is better than Jared Goff. I don't think
Oh yeah.
anybody's
No.
debating or disputing that. And so it's an upgrade for them. What's crazy is just the haul that they got for Matt Stafford,
Yep.
right? You get a younger quarterback, you give up 2 more first round picks and they get a third rounder, I think, this year.
Okay.
So it's like, well, dang. Like,
Yeah, I
so
think
you
that's a
expect,
plus trade for both sides, if you ask me.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
that's
It really is. And I mean, the good thing for Detroit, well, first of all, I'm just excited about the fact that I don't think I've ever seen the Lions be like a part of like First Take and First Things First and
right.
Undisputed and Get Up conversations this much ever.
I agree.
Like I was just sitting there just loving it. Like I don't think Detroit like has ever been like, especially the Lions have never been this much in
No,
their
man.
conversations
I've
ever.
thought
So
about
I
that
was just
before
excited
too.
about that.
Just when you see like the Lions blue lion emblem on there, I'm like, whoa, what the
You
hell?
get
That's
excited.
weird.
Like,
Yeah.
what is so?
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Matt. I'm excited to see what they do with golf and see how they pair it, especially with Anthony Lynn, the ex Chargers coach. Because to see what he did with what's the kid's name? Why am I
Oh,
drawing a blank? Herbert.
Herbert.
Do with Herbert, and the season that he just won. If I'm not mistaken, he just won Offensive Rookie of the Year. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be interesting to see like what he's able to do with golf. And what I think is going to be the biggest key for Detroit is they have to find a way to re-sign Galladay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, is he a free agent?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Why?
he's a
He's
free agent.
incredible. I mean, I don't know what that lingering injury was this year that had him out so long.
It was his hip, I think it was, or
Okay.
growing.
So I
One of
don't
the
know
two.
how that could affect him long term. But when that dude's healthy, he's a dog. I mean,
Beast. I mean, what was it? Not this year, but the last year he led the league in touchdowns, receiving
true.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
You can't do
He's a
that and be a
beast.
scrub.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting, man. Like from the Lions' perspective, the Hall of Picks is really nice, and then you have a formidable starter. I can see why the Rams would get rid of him because he seemed like, well, he did. It wasn't. He seemed he had down 2 years since that Super Bowl, and he has that huge contract. So it's like they get out from under that. That's the only thing that scares me for the Lions. I don't know how much cap room we have, but when the Super Bowl year, and obviously he had a plethora of offensive weapons and a good offensive line. But he played great. Like he was that's
Yeah,
why he got that contract. He played
yeah,
really good that year. So I mean, if he can get back to, a resemblance of that and get that kind of confidence back, hopefully our new coach, get some biting kneecaps and, just
hey,
pumped up. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited, man. Even though
I
like
am.
you said, I don't think there's a debate that Stafford's a better quarterback. It'll just be nice to like that era's over.
Yeah,
It wasn't
get a
working
restart.
out. Even though I'm not on the Stafford train like everyone else, I'm happy for him, man. You get a
Yeah,
top 5D, a great offensive line, 2 good receivers, a good coach, a good organization, like in the sun
yeah,
of Cali. Good for you, bro. Get out of here,
yeah,
man. Go
yeah.
do your thing.
Like, because I think it'll be interesting to see, at least from a Lions standpoint, like, was it really the fact that like the Lions were holding him back,
I think so.
or was it a situation where it's like, oh no, like he just really wasn't what we were hoping him to be? So I think that's the intriguing part. Like, we're good, we're
Yep.
happy to see him because he really put a lot on the line for the organization. He put his, I mean, the stuff that he put his body through that was
Yep.
just
Tough as
unnecessary.
nails, man.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good to kind of see him in those other situations.
It
Yeah,
will. Good for him, man. We'll see. I
yeah.
mean, do you think, okay, does that catapult them to a contender?
I think it has to. I mean, you think they went 10-6 this year, made it to the playoffs, and won that first game.
They beat Seattle, right? Yeah. And then
Yeah,
lost to Green
won that
Bay.
won that first game.
Yep.
So, I think you get that upgrade. You get Donald back healthy. And they got to find a way to they have to find a running back, because I don't think Cam Akers is that answer for the Rams there. But if they can find a way to get a running back, they're going to be nice.
They are.
Like, you
That's
got
right.
Higbee, you got Woods, you have what's
Well,
the
they
guy
have
that went
Akers.
to
I mean, he's young, so we don't really know what his deal is yet. He looks pretty good though. So I mean, if he takes a step next year, who knows, man? I think the sky's the limit for
Hunter
him.
Winfro? Like, they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like Cooper Cup a lot.
that's who it is. Cooper Cup. That's who
Yeah.
it is.
And then
Winfro's with the
who's the other
Raiders. I'm
guy?
sorry.
The other receiver they have,
They
Robert
got
Woods.
Woods. They got
Yep.
Tyler Higbee as their tight end.
Yep. Yeah, man. It'll be very interesting. It's a loaded division though. You know, them, Cardinals, Seahawks. Who's the other one? 49ers? Is that the other one? I think it
Uh,
is. God, that's a loaded
is it the
division.
Cardinals?
I said the Cardinals. Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers, I think, is that division. Um,
Uh, yeah.
and I think the
Yep.
49ers are going to have a bounce back here. They got riddled with injuries this year. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
they'll definitely have. I mean, because you lose one of the top two tight ends in the league.
mm-hmm.
You lose Bosa.
Garoppolo.
Just like, it was just. Do you think that you question about Garoppolo? I know we're kind of going off topic a little bit. Do you think he's gonna end up staying there? Or think you think he's going somewhere else?
I mean, he signed a
He
big
going back
deal
to New
there, didn't
England?
he? But didn't he sign? He'd have to be traded, wouldn't he? Didn't he sign a monster deal when he got to
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco?
Yeah, he did sign a nice deal.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He going back to New England? Maybe.
I'm not high on him, bro. Like, I think the year they went, it's crazy. They're a year removed from the Super Bowl and they didn't even make the playoffs. That's wild. But when they were there last year, he was a good game manager. Like, I'm gonna give him that. But like, he wasn't balling or
At best,
anything, you
no. I
know.
mean, I don't
Like,
think he.
so I don't know why Belichick would. And no, that's not really the Patriot way, man. Like, Belichick's not about to assume all that cap for this dude that's not even putting up. I doubt that. You
They
think
got
they will?
plenty of cap. Like,
Yeah, but they wanted to take on that salary for a dude that's not even that good. Like, I don't.
I mean, you put him with Josh McDaniels, maybe a run. Yeah, I mean, because you think when Brady was out, that's when he became Jimmy G.
I saw a report today that the Patriots are targeting Chris Godwin. Is that his name? Chris Godwin from the Bucks.
From the books. They
Mm-hmm.
need something because N'Keal Harry is not cutting
No,
it.
he's definitely not. And Edelman's on his last leg, so
Yeah, they need to
they need
make
something
some moves.
fast. They need something
Make some
fast.
moves quick.
Well, let's bounce over to the NBA then.
Hey,
Another weekend. Out east, we got Philly, then Milwaukee, the Nets, Celtics, and Indiana. And out west, Utah is now leading the division. Clips and Lakers are tied for second, the Nuggets, and then Portland. I mean, we can start anywhere. Do you think Utah can keep that up? Like, I just feel like that's a facade.
um, I do think they can keep it up. I think they can finish. I don't know if they're going to stay number one in the conference in the Western Conference. I think eventually the Lakers or the Clippers will catch them. I think they'll finish top three though. I do.
Really? I mean, they have a great
What
defense.
and I think that's what it is. Their defense is really solid. Uh, what is it? Bojanovic.
Boban or Bogdan. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think it's Boban Bojanovic.
He's a bucket.
Uh, I think he's. They didn't have him last year in the bubble.
No.
He was out, so I think he's been balling, and I think that's what's really kind of helping them. And I said this last time. Mike Conley is not doing it for me.
Mhm.
Like his play has just been so up and down.
For the money he
Like
makes
the other
too, man.
day when they played, he went 2 for 10.
Yeah, and he
Like
makes
that's not
so
gonna
much
cut
money,
it.
bro. He makes so much money.
He makes like let me put. I'm pretty sure he makes like 40 million
I
if
don't
I'm
even think
not
he's ever made an
mistaken.
All-Star team, bro.
Maybe. How much does Mike count? He make 34 million, bro.
Yeah, that's like top 5 player in the league money right there, bro.
Like
That's
he the highest paid player on the team right now.
for sure. He's got to be. He's got to be like a
It's
top 10,
insane.
maybe not top 10 highest player in the league, but he's got to be up there, top 20 for sure. Like
It's just insane.
that's a monster contract, bro. And then uh so the Clips earlier this week, did you watch that game when the Nets beat them?
I did. Yeah, I did. It's a dog game.
Mo, I think like watching them, I'm kind of in awe. And like I think this is what they need to do. I kind of figured it out. I mean, who the fuck am I to say anything? But from E's mind, this is what the Brooklyn Nets need to do. So I need to get
The
over there and get in Steve Nash's
NBA
ear.
guru.
Listen, I mean, they have a lot to figure out defensively, but offensively, James Harden needs to, and he has been, control that ball every time down the floor. Obviously transition and full court stuff aside, but James Harden, it's like I forgot because he's been removed from this role for 2 years. The dude is a phenomenal passer and distributor of the ball. Like I'm watching him, like bro, I forgot how good of a passer you are. KD is going to do his thing. You know, he's going to get his transition buckets. He's going to get some isolation stuff. But for me, you can get KD 15 shots a night, like, and he's happy, you know?
Bro, he
Like,
had 13 that game against the Clippers and put up
dude,
26.
it's like, and obviously in the
11 to
playoffs,
13.
yep. And obviously in the playoffs, that'll increase. But I think this team offensively needs to get the ball to Kyrie every time down the court and go, Uncle Drew, do what you
Like,
need. Like, he's making shots, Mo. That I'm just like, again, every time down the court, the team needs to be thinking like Kyrie's getting the ball. Like, let him be the 30-point a game scorer for your regular season and make teams focus in on Kyrie. Let James Harden open up the offense and let KD just do KD. Man, he doesn't need the ball to be
mm-mm.
successful. It's just the talent there is unbelievable, man. Like, it's
you
just
you
they need
know,
to
since
figure it
he
out
had
defensively, but they
yeah, the
are
defense has to get figured
scary.
out. They really have to get figured. But I will say this: they looked much better defensively against the Clippers. Now, granted, they still gave up about what 120 or so, but you know, with the players that they have, you know, you would think they would have probably given up more than that, especially when they gave up 140 something to the Wizards. Um, they looked a lot better defensively. But since Kyrie had that, you know, left that little for that little mental break that he had,
Hmm.
he's come back and averaged 30.
It's insane, bro.
You know
He's
what I mean?
so talented. It's
Dude has been going nuts. And I don't, you know, the thing is that I don't think KD cares.
no, and that's
I
awesome.
don't think James Harden cares. Like, go
I
to
don't think
work,
Katie's
bro.
ever been that type of dude. Like, I need the ball. Like, that doesn't make him, upset when he's not the focal. I mean, Russ was, the highest usage rate player when he played back then. Clearly, he didn't care about being off the ball and doing all that,
Mm-mm.
distributing and playing a high passing offense in Golden State. And I think it's the same case now. He's never been the dude of like, I need to dominate the ball, which is awesome. That's a plus, So,
Yeah, I just think um he, his game is not predicated on the volume of shots he gets.
no.
It's the efficiency of which he gets his shots, right? And with James, James can get like 12 points just off of free
Yep.
throws, right? And so, like you said, the way that he is able to initiate offense, like James is probably the best player on that team that can get his shot and get somebody else a shot. He's probably the best at that.
Yep.
Um, KD's probably the most. He's the best player on the team, but he's the best at probably getting his shot.
Yep.
Kyrie, his thing is that listen, you can get this work regardless. You know what I mean? Like he's just, and the thing is that he's so much younger than them.
Bro, it's you just saying, Katie's the best at getting his own shot. Like, I'm going to go, yeah, it's Katie. And then I just sit there and I'm like, all three of those guys are like some of the best shot getters I've ever seen, like, since
Yeah,
I've watched basketball. So it's just like,
pick your
they're never
poison.
not going to be able to get a bucket. Like, it's
Yeah,
just going to come down to you got to
they
stop
have to
people
play
on the
D.
other end. That's
They
all it is,
have to
bro.
play defense. They got to get. They have to pick up, some other players. They need another big. They need one bad. Um, but I mean, you look at some of the lobs that James is throwing up to DeAndre Jordan. He's looking like he's almost back to like Clipper, like Lob City. Like
Yep,
they're nice.
they are, man. Yeah, I mean, run. I don't know what their starting is. Do they have Joe Harris as their fifth starter right now?
So it's Joe Harris, and then DeAndre's not even starting
Yeah,
anymore.
who,
I don't
who is
think.
it?
I think
Jeff
it's Jeff
Green.
Green. Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna need another big, but I'm thinking, run KD at the 4 and offensively let him just swing up and down that baseline, and that's how you can get him his shots or give him the ball in isolation, let him do what he needs to do. And like I said, James distribute and as often as you can down the court, just get the ball to Kyrie and let him be the 30-point a game scorer. So the other teams are thinking this is who we need to key in on because he's just an automatic bucket, bro. Just hits
yeah.
contested shots, gets to the rim, either hand finishes, either
You
hand in the
can't.
lane, contested.
His
Insane.
package, Kyrie's package is just his offensive packages
Oh yeah, I think he's a
are
top 5 most talented offensive player in the history of the NBA. Like I really do. And I saw that. I mean, I was young, but I just remember watching him in his like 11 games at Duke, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy, man? Like this dude is just." He
going
looked like
nuts.
he was playing with boys. Like it was like, dude, you're on a different level. And as soon as he got in the NBA, it was the same thing. It was like this dude is just flat out special.
Yeah. You remember that rookie versus what is it like that rookie versus sophomore game, and he put Brandon Knight on skates.
That step back and wait, but hey, Brandon went down to one knee and he still tried to like jump for
Right,
him and
like
he just
bro,
face
just
planted.
accept yours. That was a fatality. Like he put him to
I think that may have been the same season that DeAndre Jordan bodied Brandon Knight on that alley oop. Do you remember that?
yeah, I think it may have been. I was watching some Clipper highlights, bro. That Lob City team, for them not to have made it to like a Western Conference Finals, bro, it's kind of disappointing.
It
It
is,
is.
man. But and Chris Paul's elite at what he does, but Max Kellerman actually said this, and I thought about it, and I don't know if we talked about this already, but like it just reminded me since you just said that. Max Kellerman said there has never been a big man that can win a championship without an elite perimeter player. And he was like, "Go ahead, tell me." He was like, "Kareem needed Magic or Oscar. Shaq needed Kobe. All these," and he's going down the list, and I'm like, "Wow, man! Like you're not wrong." And I just think Chris Paul was an elite point guard, but he was never that dominant scorer. You know what I mean? And it's
That's
just
not his
even though they
game.
had, because I thought back then they should have won championships. They were deep, bro. They had Jamal Crawford and Eric Bledsoe coming off the bench, and Nick Young when he was Swaggy P, like just draining threes. Like they had a good team, man.
They did. They did. They had JJ.
Yup.
They had a squad. They
Yeah,
definitely had a squad. It's
it is sad.
disappointing. I would say this though. Um, I don't think Brooklyn will end up with the best record in the East.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I don't think that
I
matters.
think the Sixers will eventually either be the Sixers or the Bucks. But I think it's going to end up being I think it's going to end up being the Nets that'll come out the East. But 218, February 18th, Lakers and Nets.
Yeah, possible final
Can't wait for
showdown,
that
man.
game. Can't wait for that game.
AD's scaring me, bro. Like I don't know if he's reminding me of like kind of what like we thought LeBron would be doing at this point. You know what I mean? Like just kind of coasting. Uh,
Yeah,
he looks great
he
defensively.
yeah he does. I mean, because he didn't have a good game the
He
last
had
night
13
against the
points
Nuggets.
or
They
something
had
like that.
13 points at 5 of 8, and I think Jokic can probably kind of do that to people because that's a big dude.
It is, but
And I don't know if that weight kind of weighed on him a little bit, but yeah. And what's
it's
going on with
interesting, man.
Denver? Like, I know they're fourth right now, but Jamal Murray this season has just been. You would think that he'd have came in this season going crazy,
Right? Yeah.
and
I thought the
it's
same
been
thing.
nothing but that.
Regular season Jamal. So I
It's
also
been nothing
posted
but that.
earlier, they got LeBron at the top for MVP. Jokic is third, and Embiid is second. Do you agree? I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree
I mean,
with that.
especially with like we're saying Davis not playing at like an all-star level right now. Brown's been balling, man. What do you have
Yeah,
last night? 27, 10, and 10. Like the dude is just like
went crazy.
it's amazing.
Went
And I
crazy.
grew up, the biggest Bron fan, so it's kind of just like every year I get that scared like is he gonna fucking tear something on any night here
Did
and that's gonna be his, way. So it's just I'm really just trying to appreciate him. Wow, he's still doing this, man. And I feel like we
uh,
say that every year, but
like did you? They
shit.
posted ESPN posted something on Instagram, and he talked about LeBron from I think the first time he arrived in Miami until now. His stats in his stat line, he's consistently averaged about like 26 points a game, like 8 rebounds and like 8 assists consistently, and then
Yeah.
about 50% from the field.
Yeah. I mean, just look at his career. I mean, and you can't do this, obviously. It's not like it doesn't count what happened before. But I've heard Nick Wright say it too. Like, just look at since the loss to Dallas, like his career has just been unbelievable. I mean, 4 chips, 4 finals MVPs, dragging nobodies to the play. He just made the finals almost every year. Like, it's just, he's like that Brady esque, just like always in the finals, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's something to be said for it, man. Like, he has played probably a couple more full seasons just in his playoff games because he's gone so deep all these years. It's nuts.
it is. It's just really crazy to think that he's been able to sustain this for as long as he has. Like I don't think anybody anticipated someone being able to do it at the level he's been able to. But he's still not my GOAT though.
Oh, I get it. I understand that completely. I'm big into I wasn't around for Jordan. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I feel like it's not to make an educated statement. I can only speak on what I've seen in real time. Now, granted, I've seen a ton of Jordan playoff games. Like I used to just study this stuff and like watch it, but like there's just something different when you see it in real time. And like he's the greatest I've seen in my lifetime. And again, I was a baby when Jordan left and pretty young when Kobe and Shaq won their first 3. So it's just like LeBron's been my GOAT. But like I can't argue with the other arguments, man. Like, and I just respect everyone's opinion. It's all
Yeah,
circumstantial
you're
though.
gonna have your so because I think like everybody wants to talk about the 6 rings, right? And that's a huge thing. And when you get to a LeBron, you're like, well, he's been doing this for this, and I'm like, one of the things that I think people kind of overlook is that the fact that like Jordan spent his first the LeBron's first 2 years was actually in the league. Jordan was in college, right? And then he came on the scene and was just going nuts. So
Mm-hmm.
like everybody talk about the amount of points that LeBron has. Like Jordan, I think people forget to realize he went to college for 2 years. His second year in the league, he was pretty much injured the whole entire season,
Yeah, broke his foot, right?
right? And then retired for like a year and a half.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's
Like so,
voluntary
there's
though. I can't really
yeah. I mean, it's
it's
voluntary, but he has some other, he has some personal stuff that was
mm-hmm.
going
Most
on
definitely. Yeah.
that I don't, that LeBron really didn't really have to manage. You know what I mean? Like losing your dad
No,
during
of
like the height of
course.
your career, I think is really tough to kind of you just kind of need a break.
For sure. For
Um,
sure.
so so when I look at like Jordan and stuff like that, I mean, you want to talk about leading some, and then I'm sorry, but like the teams that like Jordan had to go up against, getting through the playoffs are probably some of the greatest teams ever. Like some of the like he's went up against like the Celtics where you have McHale and you got Bird and you got Parrish and like Dennis Scott. Like they had not Dennis Scott. What's the dude's name?
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson. Like they like come on, man. They were battling with Magic in them during the whole entire 80s. And you expect this dude come in and then he goes and just drop 63 on your head.
Yeah. I mean, they were all old when he finally beat them, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, but they also kind of still had the number 1 record in the league, but it's cool. Don't worry about it.
I got nothing. Jordan's the man, bro. Like I'm a huge fan of Jordan. I wish I was alive when that stuff was going on, man. Like I just feel like it just looked like magic. Just like not magic as in Johnson, but like literal magic. It looked like
Yeah.
the dude was just watching him play, man, just the way he'd elevate for a jump shot and like float in the air was just like, whoa,
It's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, I never
But
seen
you know,
that,
one
man.
of the things I think people don't, I think people forget about LeBron, and I don't think, as me as being a Pistons fan, I can't, is the 25 straight points he put on that Pistons team in that playoffs to go to the finals when he wasn't even supposed to be there. Like, he had no business being in the finals with the Spurs that year. Like, they
What
were going to get popped. Like, the Pistons were supposed to be there, but he ruined that party.
well, what's your opinion on LeBron not being clutch and LeBron choking in the biggest moments and wanting to defer? Like, what do you put stock into
So
that? How
I don't see it as LeBron choking. LeBron's just he's a at first thing first, LeBron's a team player. Like, what's the best part about LeBron's game?
passing, easy. I think he's the best
Right?
passer of all time. I think
It's
he's
just
better than Magic.
right. So it's well, don't push it, but there's this guy that is from Lansing, my hometown, and went to Lansing Everett, then went to MSU, then went to the
You
Lakers.
went
I don't know
to
if you know
you're
him.
from Lansing?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Straight up. L Town, Cap City. What up though?
Hey,
Uh so
but you went to
but
Michigan, or you're a Michigan fan?
I'm a Michigan fan. I would never root for Michigan State. What? Who? No, I don't know.
From Lansing, bro. Figure it out. What you talking about?
That's East Lansing. Not
That's
the
fair.
same.
That's true.
Not the same. South side. So so my like that's the best part of this game. So he's always going, that's what he would, I think, when you put under pressure, that's what you divert to the most, is what you do best,
Yeah,
right?
that's
When
fair.
you're under pressure, you're going to divert to what you do best. When LeBron's under pressure, he knows that he's going to get double teamed. People are going to come and, hack him and everything like that. But he knows somebody going to be open. So he's making the right basketball move. I don't think that you choke because you made the right basketball move.
Most
Right?
definitely.
Like,
I agree.
making the right basket, it's never a bad time to make the right basketball move. I don't think that's a wrong thing. But I
I
also think
agree.
it depends on who you're giving the ball to. Like,
Yeah.
that pass to Danny Green.
Yeah. No, listen, are you talking about, was that game 5 in the
Five, I
finals?
think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He was fucking so good that game too, man. Like, he was killing it. Like,
Yeah. Like,
so
you'd
I
have
do
wished he'd
get
have
it in
took
those
that shot.
I do get it in those circumstances where it's like, if that's Kobe or Michael, like, fuck this, I'm putting the one dribble right at the base, and just
Yeah.
pulling up. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who's in my face. So I get that. But on the flip side, like, I think it was 2018 or 17. It was Kyrie's last year there. When he hit Corver in the corner of that game 3 against Golden State, that's the right dude. He's one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time. Like, it's like, I have no
Yeah. So
problem
I think
with
it's
that.
just who you pass it to, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna trust Kyle. I'll trust Kyle Korver to shoot a 3 over Danny Green.
Yeah, Danny Green's been
You know what I
broke
mean?
since the
Like,
Spurs.
it's just consistency. But I don't think it's ever a wrong time to make the right basketball move. But in those situations, I think it's just like, who's the ball going to in those
Yeah,
situations. But
that's fair.
yeah, I still give LeBron his respect though. I never,
Is he
it's
top
like I
5?
say, he's top 2
Oh, you have him
for
above
me.
Kobe?
I do.
Okay.
I put him above Kobe, and Kobe, I like Kobe, but yeah, I put him above Kobe. But I don't know. So just so what we need to make this clear, my favorite player all time is Kevin Garnett, though.
I know you like the big ticket, bro. You used to tell me that for those that don't know, me and Mo worked at Champs together for like 3-4 years. I remember
Yeah,
Mo. You used to
yeah,
always tell me that. Wait,
yeah.
did you like him better like old days, like big ticket Timberwolves, or like, you mean like Celtics? Like,
No, him with the Timberwolves, like, that was my guy. Like, the
yeah.
level of intensity that he brought to the game, and then the versatility that KG had, like, you didn't see somebody like KG on the floor.
Yeah. It's
Like, yeah, that
a
was my
great
guy.
leader, man, too. Just galvanized his troops and was like, definitely the heart
Yeah,
of the Celtics championship. Even though Pierce won the MVP,
yeah,
that's KG's team. Like, he's a dog. It's
yeah,
funny people forget about him too. I'm gonna be honest. Until you just said that, I haven't thought about Kevin Garnett in a long time. So it's just
yeah. He has a book
crazy.
coming out. I think I'm gonna buy it.
You should, man.
That's my
That
guy.
intensity, bro. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Man, holy shit. What did you think about Bron's comments about the All-Star game? Did you see that?
I agree with him. What's the point?
Yeah, like, there's not gonna be fans and whatnot. Like,
It's like not gonna be, and that's what the All-Star game is for. It's the fans. But I know they're going to get money from the jersey sales, the broadcasting stuff, the streaming stuff. So they'll get money from that. But it's you're further putting those players at risk. And I think LeBron even said that, like, when they began the season, like, they had agreed, like, we're not going to have an all-star game. We'll get those we get those 5 days off where we can chill, relax or whatever, and, recuperate and get ready for the second half of the season.
It's funny he's like LeBron, and it would shock me if the NBA finds him for those comments, because I feel like if any other player said that shit, it would just be like,
well,
fine.
Let's see, because De'Aaron Fox said it was stupid. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets fined and LeBron doesn't. That'll be, because then we'll know something. But
yeah, I mean, LeBron is LeBron, though. It's like he's the face of that league. That's like, I mean, he kind of has that polling weight. Is what's crazy.
What LeBron says kind of like, kind of goes. I mean, because they talked about it when they were in the bubble, right? Like when they were talking about whether or not they should continue to play during the whole, James Blake thing, when that happened, and they all sat and had those conversations. Like they all kind of was waiting for him to say something.
Yeah.
So, because they knew, like, what he decides is pretty much what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that he has that much power, but they understand that, like, at the end of the day, he's the ringleader. So
yeah, that's crazy, man. Speaking of the bubble, LA wins that championship. Jared Dudley's comments recently. Who is he talking? Oh, it was in a book. He wrote a book? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so it was an audio book that he did about the bubble.
Okay. And I think the quote was something along the lines of, like, we didn't care. Well, okay, it was that they knew they were on a collision course. Well, they ended up not being, but they thought they were on a collision course with the other LA team, the Clips, right? And I think they said they heard the chatter and they were fine when it was from people like Kawhi, who's, a proven champion.
He's a reigning NBA champion.
Yeah, finals MVP, all of it. But he said it was extra fuel when Paul George spoke up about it or was talking shit or whatever he was doing.
Yeah, saying like it was the Battle of LA.
Yeah, I mean, like, it didn't really make sense to me. Like, I mean, I guess use whatever motivation you want. Jared Dudley's a clown, bro. Like, I'm not really putting any stock into what he says, but it's like,
I mean, come on, like, when has Jared Dudley ever been relevant in the league?
Just the way he runs and the way he shoots.
Like,
it's
you overweight, like, you there to be a team builder. That's what you there for. Like,
he's there to fight, bro. Have you seen the compilations of him just randomly running up to dudes and, like, shoving them and starting shit? It's like, dude,
stop.
You're like an enforcer on a hockey team. You just fucking run around. But I mean, also, like, again, coming from Jared Dudley, it doesn't make sense. But at face value, the statement to me makes sense. Like, Paul George hasn't proven anything to me. And again, I know you always think that's disrespectful. I'm a Paul George fan. I love watching him play. But he really hasn't proven anything to me, man. Like, it's just in the playoffs, he's never. And I get he has good games, but he's just never pulled through when it matters, I guess.
Well, so this is the thing that I people like harp on and stuff. Like, what else was he supposed to say?
No, exactly. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, you have faith in your team. You got confidence in your team. So, like, what else you expect them to say?
Exactly.
And you over there, like talking about, we took that as extra fuel. Well, how do you think they're going to take now? How do you think the Clippers are going to take the fact that Jared Dudley, of all people, had a nerve to say something about what Paul George said? Like, Paul George has accomplished more in this league than you even thought about accomplishing in this league. So let's just be like, bag back, bro. Right? And what's crazy is they like, oh, well, we expect it from Kawhi because, he's a reigning champion, finals MVP twice over. You know what I mean? Like, he's done stuff in this league.
Yep.
And we expect it from Pat Bev because that's how he makes his money. Pat Bev is trash. Like, he's a solid defender, but let's be honest, Pat Bev trash.
I mean, he's no star.
You know what I mean? But you expect it from Pat Beverly, but you're not gonna take it from Paul George because Patrick Beverly talks shit. Like,
I totally agree. That's a good point, man.
Like, pick your battle.
Yeah. He doesn't have a battle, bro. He's just looking for anything he can to be in the headlines. Jared Dudley's
He's looking a way to put that book out so that way he can make some sales, which I get it, right? I'm all about to get your coin. But come on, bro. Like, chill out on PG. PG, you go out there and guard Paul George and see what happens.
Oh, that
I
would
bet
not
you he
end
won't
well.
clank a ball off the side of the backboard that time.
No, probably yam it on his face.
Like, so chill out, bro. Watch your words.
Yeah, I get that, bro. Jared
Got
Dudley.
me hot.
He he did that a couple years ago to Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons was so funny. Like they asked him about it in a pre. It was probably 3 seasons ago when Jared Dudley was on Brooklyn and they were playing the Sixers in the playoffs, and he
Oh
said
yeah, I
something.
remember this.
And like in the pregame, the news lady asked him about it, and he literally was just like, "Next, it's Jared Dudley, bro. Like next question. Like, what do you
What are
want me
we
to
talking
say?"
about? Like, has he ever started in the league?
Probably not.
Like, come on, bro.
Probably averages like
We are not
good
the same.
6 points a game for his
We are
career.
not the
Maybe not
same.
even.
We are not the same.
Definitely not. So I don't even think that would be most motivation for them. They'd probably just laugh at that and be like, "Bro, get the fuck out of here with that."
Like, I mean, no, if I'm the Clippers, I would use it as motivation, right? Like, okay, you want to try to point like PG, like they always want to put him in stuff. If I'm PG, I'm like, all right, you want to keep talking, all right, well, I got you.
It's pretty much the same thing, bro. Like thinking about it, like he can look at them and be like, "Yeah, we could understand LeBron or AD talking shit, but like, who is Jared Dudley to say any of this shit? Like, yeah, you want a ring, doing nothing, bro. You sat at the pine, like what?
Bro, that boy hard. Bro, that boy hard.
Is he in the league still?
Like seriously. No,
I
he's
don't.
still on the team. No, he's still on the team.
Oh, is
Yeah. To do what? I don't know.
not a whole
I
lot.
don't know. Hashtag to do what? Because he.
So what's
No
going
idea.
on with Luca, man, and the Mavs? Like that's crazy to me. They are now 9-14. Um,
And
Luca's
lost.
balling 27 9-9, but the team, man, like is there something there? Like what is the factor that's because I think a majority of people, maybe not, but me especially, would have thought they would have taken a big leap this year.
I don't know if I would had them taking a big leap, but it's the inconsistent. So I think it's the inconsistency with the players that are around. One, I think they are missing Steph Curry.
I agree
You know, like his
completely.
ability to stretch the floor. Him and Josh Richardson, they're two completely different players. Like
Yep.
Josh Richardson is a solid defender, and he
Yep.
makes Dallas better defensively. But Steph's ability to stretch the floor and give Luka the lanes for him to drive to the basket and stuff like that, I think is affecting them some. And then I think Porzingis is just getting back.
Bro, he's
But
played
I
like
still think they'll
12
make it to
of
the
their games.
playoffs. Yeah, I think they'll still make it to the playoffs, but they gotta figure something out.
It's too bad, man. Like if Porzingis could stay healthy, like I remember when he got traded there, I was like, this is gonna be a bad duo right here, these two boys. But
Yeah,
he
they're
just can't
nice.
get on the court, bro. Like I don't know what his deal. I
Bro.
don't know if it's just his size and he's got all these lingering issues, but he is just like, I mean, people say like AD's like glass. KP is just he cannot stay healthy, man. Like it's
You know what's crazy? I saw this. You know, if they finish with one of the worst records, that the Knicks get their pick
really
because of that Porzingis trade.
okay. It's
Bro,
protected.
that'd be crazy.
That would be nuts, bro. Holy shit.
But yeah, I think I think they can still make it. They just got to figure things out, their rotations and everything. Because I think their coach has kind of played with their rotations a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Luca with the 3-point shooting is what he needs to really get in the lab and figure out, bro. He's not even shooting 30% from behind the arc right now. Like it's just that's got to be better, bro. I think he's only shooting 45% true field or not true shooting percentage because that involves
His
free
field goal
throws, but
percentage
his
is
field goal
45, and he's shooting 29% from the three
not good, man. That is
at
not
all.
like that's just like you can't win being that inefficient. Like that's
Yeah,
just yeah. So he's got to figure that out.
definitely.
But it's crazy. Like they made it. I mean, it's the bubble, so it's it is what it is. But they pushed Clips to 6 games. I think they win that series if KP doesn't get that bogus ejection. Do you remember that in Game 1? They were
I do
killing them by
remember
like
that.
15 or 20, and
I do remember that.
then they won Game 2, and then Luca hit that game winner in Game 5. Like it was like so. It's just nuts to see. And again, like you said, they could turn it around, but it's just it's weird right now that we're like a third of the way through, and they just don't look hot at all.
Don't look the same at all. But I think they'll get it figured out. Like they'll find a way to figure out. Like their coach is too good of a coach for them not to. What is his name? Rick Carlisle. I think he's too good of a coach for them to not figure it out. So
Oh,
I think they'll
exactly.
be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. And then I know you mentioned it to me earlier. What did you have to say about well, I don't know what the exact quote was, but I did read that headline about what Offset said relating to cheater
Bro,
culture in
okay.
the NBA.
So Offset thinking that he's this fashion icon and he's just, he he is, that guy, just goes out here and talks about how he's the one that reason why guys are out here wearing Air Jordan 1s and like
He just said basically, yeah, like he's what like influenced the sneaker game in the
yeah.
NBA to a huge
And it's like
or in the rap game. I think he was talking about, right? Like the reason they're all wearing these shoes and stuff like
yeah, it's
that.
like he's the reason why this isn't he's and like people reason why people are wearing dunks and it's like bruh, cut it out. You do not have that much influence on the sneaker game. I can name three. I can I can for sure name two rappers that have more of influence in the sneaker game than you do
Today, but that's not even all.
today.
Yeah, I mean Drake
Like
and
easily,
Ye.
like Travis Scott
Oh, Travis Scott for
and
sure.
Kanye have way more influence. Like Kanye really started this whole like wearing retros back when like College Dropout first came out. Like
Yeah,
Kanye was really the one that kind of started this whole wave. And then like Travis Scott, I mean, you look at his collaborations that he's had with Nike and everything. Like he has way more influence on the sneaker game than Offset. Like, bruh.
Offset. The game was rapping about his Air Max 95s before you even hit puberty, bro. That's like all I have to say to you. Like what? Like, case
Come on now,
closed. Like,
come on now,
like,
come on now.
but even Drake, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of shoes, but all his OVO Jordans, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many more
They do
people that
they do numbers. It's like it's not. We're not comparing the same thing here. You know what I mean? Like,
does Offset have a signature shoe?
no.
Okay.
Look, the Migos put out a hat with a new era. That's
Oh,
the best he got.
a hat.
You know
Solid.
what I mean? Like, you have no sneaker collabs, bro.
I,
And you look at the numbers that like Drake does. You really look at the numbers that Travis Scott does with pretty much any of those Cactus Jack shoes.
yeah.
Like,
We can take it back, bro. I mean, like, what? How can he even say? I mean, when you've got people in the past, like, just take it way back, like Run DMC with the Adidas Superstar and
Adidas,
stuff
like
like that,
they
right? I
numbers
mean,
shot through the roof. They said
right?
after that single drop, they numbers went up by I think by like 300%
Yeah, when they were wearing the jumpsuits and
with the shell toes.
the shell toes, man, that's crazy. Jay-Z and 50 with Reebok. Um,
And you look at Nelly with Air Force Ones. Come
yeah,
on now,
yep,
I need two
exactly.
per. Like, come on, like like seriously.
My favorite silhouette of all time, bro. Not the white on white, but the Air Force One is my favorite shoe that's ever been released as
Wait,
far as a
excuse me,
sneaker.
what?
It's my
The
favorite
white on
shoe.
white is not.
I it's the
This
most
is because you work
iconic,
at Champs and that's what everybody was getting.
bro. Do you remember how many like just we'd be in the back, right? All the shoes, and then just that whole
The whole
fucking
section
section just
was just the forces. It's just all whites too. All whites. That's it.
no, like I mean,
Come back.
it's the most iconic of them, but like I wouldn't rock them. Like I had my time with Air Force white on whites. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's
I'll have a pair of all. I feel like as a black man, if you don't got a pair of all whites, if you got a white on whites, you gotta pull your card. You gotta pull your card, bro.
no,
It's a part of your sneaker collection.
no the one lows though,
If
man.
your
Those
rotation does not have it, you gotta go.
you got to put that protected on it, man. Those things will scuff so
Seriously.
easy. I remember the game talking about in one of his he had a Nice Kicks interview. Nice Kicks used to go to people's cribs and like go through their closet with them, right? And he said
Mhm.
he got to his wall just filled with white on whites, and he was like, "Fun fact for you all: Dre wears a new pair of Air Force One white on whites every single day. Like as soon as he takes them off, like it's a wrap. He doesn't put them back on. Like every single day, that's the shoe he wears. I was like, that's crazy, man. I wonder if that's still the case because that was years ago,
It's
but
insane.
it is.
I mean, they showed his closet. I remember that. They showed his closet. Dame Dash used to be the same way.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. God, I love Forces though. Those are my shoes. They just they're just timeless, bro. Like I feel like I can wear
They
them with
are.
anything, something a little more dressed up, or just kicking it. Like it's just they're so comfortable. I couldn't ball in them or anything. Obviously, they're too clunky, but like they're just such great shoes. I love
Yeah.
them so much.
My favorite silhouette is the Retro 4.
Okay. What's up with? I mean, you haven't been working at Champs for a minute, but like, do you still have most of your shoes? Like, what's your deal with your sneaker game?
I still have a majority of them. It's bad.
Oh, Mo, it's funny. Like, I sold a lot of them when I graduated, went to school for some money, and I mean, I just keep thinking like, man, when I'm older, I mean, I just graduated college, but when I get like my big boy job and like start getting some money, like it's going right back up, man. Because I had at one point probably like, and this may be rookie numbers to you because you've been doing this for a long time, but I had like 70 to 85 pairs at one time, which was, I mean,
That's a
it was.
lot. That's a lot. You were there for how long?
I mean, I started before I worked at Champs, but like then
Yeah,
when I got the Champs, it
it
was
was a
stupid
wrap.
high school kid. It was every paycheck sneakers, every paycheck sneakers. Parents are split, right? So I got one closet at my mom's, all sneakers. One closet at my dad's, all sneakers. Back of the Chevy Impala, all sneakers. Just sitting back there, like.
I remember when I gave you that advice about how to sneak your shoes into the house. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. We had conversation about that shit because my parents would be pissed. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you need all these for?
Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad.
It would be so
Not my fault.
funny. Like, I remember when I went to SneakerCon in Detroit and I just had all of them loaded in the back, and just like at red lights, people would run up to me like, yo, what are those in the back? Like, what, like, are you selling
Right,
those?" And I'm like,
right,
you can go to the SneakerCon and I can sell them to you. I'm not gonna just do a deal with you here at this red
right.
light.
Like I
But
don't know you, bro.
yeah,
That's
but
hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, like there. I mean, that's not a bad number of shoes. That's not. I've doubled that, but it's bad. It's terrible. I need to stop, but I
I mean,
can't.
yeah, I mean, out of people I know, I'd say you probably have the most, just because too, like you've been doing it forever, man. I'm so jealous of when you grew up because like you hit that sweet spot of like when these classic shoes were dropping for the first time, like these OGs, going for what, 85, $90. Like,
Bro, I remember like when the cool grays dropped, like they were maybe like maybe like $120, $150. I remember when all the retro 11 lows dropped, like the baby blues, the white and silver, the white and orange, the white and pinks. Those it didn't cost anything.
that's crazy, man. Were you at Champs and all that?
No, I was like in middle school when all those
Okay.
kind of like dropped. But like like the 95s when they dropped. Oh, the Barclays. Oh, I wanted the Barclays so bad. So one of my my favorite. It's not even a favorite. It's the worst shoe moment I've ever had in my life. And I like. So I think I was in like second grade, and you know I'm a Pistons fan. I had to have the Green Hills. Had to have the Green Hills. The one that had the eyelets that go all the way back.
Yep.
My mom takes me. My mom picks me up from my dad's house. We go to the mall. I get the whole Fila fit. I'm talking about the windbreaker. The windbreaker that's like our pants that we used to wear at
Yep.
Champs. I used to get the windbreaker pants. I had the windbreaker whole like sweat outfit with the Filas and everything. We go to the bathroom at the mall or whatever, and I set my. We before we went to go to the bathroom. I set my bag next to my mom. Was like, "Hey, I'm about to go to the bathroom." She like, "Okay," and I left my bag right next to her. I come back, I'm like, "Where's my bag?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I left my bag here. Like, where's my bag?" She's like, "You took it in there," which I was like, "No, I did not. Like, I left my bag right next to you." She's like, "No, you took it. Go check the bathroom." I was like, "Okay, but it's not here. I left it right next to you." We go
Oh,
to security. They find the footage.
someone just.
Bags and right next to her. She walked. She like kept walking and just let somebody picked it up.
Oh no.
I have never been more distraught as a kid than when I lost my Green Hills, bro.
Oh man, what's the shoe that? I mean, is that the shoe that started it for you? What was like the shoe like growing up that like?
It was them Green Hills. That was a
Okay.
shoe that really like when I fell in love with sneakers, it was those Green Hills, and like and for that to be like my first shoe where I was like excited, like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, I'm getting these Green Hills, like
Yeah.
uh
That's the best feeling, man. It's like a kid in a candy shop, just like,
mm,
Oh man.
That sneak, then like that's just that when you first open that box and
Oh,
you pull
you
that
smell them.
paper
I
back,
mean,
and
maybe I'm weird, but
that smell. Oh,
oh, that
oh,
smell. Love it. It's
that
got
sneaker
the
smell.
the fucking stuffing still in it still.
Yes,
Just
love it, bro. That's yeah, yeah. But my favorite shoe all time is, so a lot of people call them like the Flint Gray 13s. I don't, because that's not the feature on the shoe that I like the most. I call it the French Blue 13s because it's the blue
I was about to say they're blue.
mesh. Yeah, so I call it the French Blue 13s. Favorite sneaker all time.
That's my favorite 7. Those French blue 7s.
I have
Fuck.
those.
Yeah, I did too. I sold them. Fuck. God,
Did you
dude.
get it in that package that it
No,
came with, like the no? Okay,
bro. I'm fucking 22, bro. I got those like whenever they retroed probably the third or
that's what
fourth
I'm saying.
time.
Like when they came out in that package with the Raptors.
I got them just straight up. I
Oh,
was working at
okay.
Westland and just got those by himself. I remember I
Oh yeah,
were
that was. I'm sorry, that package was before your time. My bad.
I for some reason I don't know if it's just like I was wearing too big, but I wear a 13 right now. I was buying 14s in my retros, and I remember picking up those 7s, and I was like, "These fucking shoes are
Them
huge, bro! Like
fucking
these look
like
like
sevens are
astronaut shoes."
sevens are so long, bro. Sevens are so, like, you have to wear sevens with jeans. Like there's no, you can't wear sevens with no shorts, bro.
I
You
was like,
gotta
I
wear
don't know
sevens
if
with
I can
jeans.
wear these, bro. Like this is, oh man. And I was so excited because those are my favorite 7s. They were re-retro, and I was like, yes, let's go. But for me, 8th grade, a kid who had graduated from my grade school, who was now in high school, he's a freshman, posted on his Instagram the Grape Fives, and he was like so pretty or whatever, whatever. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I had known nothing about shoes, and I was like, whoa, like
Mm-hmm.
those are fucking beautiful shoes, man. So I look it
Mm-hmm.
up. I think it was May or March they were
Mm-hmm.
dropping. I was like, and this is when I got the whole I go in. And they're like, well, you have to fill out a ticket. Like I'm learning like the whole system. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
so there's like a
they're
raffle. I'm like, okay. Like, and I'm waiting for the call, and that call from the champs. I was like, fuck yes, let's go. And same thing as you, just like you're so just like I'm like, fuck, I'm getting these shoes, bro. Like,
See, you have no idea about like those days where like you had to camp out. Like there was no raffle, there was no ticket, there was none of this online stuff.
mm,
Like you were camping out. Like I remember when I worked at Champs out in Jackson, and it was it the Space Jams? Yeah, it was the Space Jams that were dropping.
mm-hmm.
It was below zero. I pull up to work because my boss was like, just come in because we probably need some extra help. I was like, all right, cool. It was dudes like huddled up against the door, the main entrance door, with blankets around them, sitting there like freezing. So we go to see like what's going on by the front door or whatever. Security goes to gotta let everybody in. And I'm talking about the security barely got the door open, and they trampled him, ran through, and lined up at each of the stores. It was only just us and Foot Locker
Mm-hmm.
that were there. They trampled through it. It was more people there than we had shoes available. You think like out in Jackson, I think we may have gotten like 18 pair. Foot
Mm-hmm.
Locker probably got the same, or maybe like 20, like 24. So, and it was easily, there had to been over like 50 to 60 people there.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. I mean, did you
It
ever
was
see
crazy.
violence, like people like fighting for shit?
I've seen it. I've seen it. You remember when we were still working in out of Eastland when they broke down that gate?
Damn, man, that's
I've seen
crazy.
some stuff. I remember I had to escort a woman because she had won like 2 different raffles when the playoff 11s dropped, and I had to escort her to her car because she was
Yeah,
scared that somebody's gonna come up and rob her.
yeah. Bro, I mean, you see videos of people driving their fucking trucks into the side of Foot Lockers. Like, it's like, bro,
Bro,
what are you doing, bro? You just ruined your car for shoes. Like,
they listen.
at least my feet look good though. My
Like
fucking
fresh,
car.
okay? Like, cause I remember hearing stories of like when these like the Concords were dropping, and like a dude got shot in a parking lot.
I remember that. Yeah, that's
So,
crazy.
and I got some champ stories that one day, one of these episodes, I'm gonna just tell you my champ stories because I got them for days.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sure there's just a lot back there that like I've just forgotten about too, and like I probably won't be able to say people's names and just name drop, but it's just like there was some crazy shit that went on, man. That was
Oh, bro.
I mean, you got more than I was only there 4 years. So I mean, you were there. You probably got a lot more than me. You're a big time vet. But
11.
so what's the process now? They still do a raffle?
It's like it's a raffle process, but it's all online. And so
Okay.
what it is like you put your size in, and then you do whatever location that you want to put it in, and then they have these things called head starts. So it's based off of like you earn points based off of the amount of money that you spend. So it's a dollar for every you get a point for every dollar that you spend. And you can pick head starts, so it allows for you. So once they open up the portal for you to get the shoes, you have to be in there, and then those head starts allow for you to get in there earlier than what like a person that doesn't have
Okay.
those head starts
I
have.
got you.
So let's say you I think you get up to like 3 head starts, so that'll allow you, like, I think it's like 20 minutes or so ahead of somebody that's just a regular release time
Mhm.
um to confirm the shoes in the app. And then once you confirm it, you have to go and pick them up, and they got
That's
to
crazy.
confirm it, read all the numbers. And I mean, it's a much safer process for the team members that are there, and a much safer process for the people. So that way it's just not as hectic,
Mhm.
and you can have normal shopping still going on while still servicing those customers that are coming for those retros. So
Gotcha. I like won't go into a Foot Locker or a Champs anymore, bro. I can't like re-spark my like I'm doing good. I'm saving money. You know what I mean? Like I've been out of the game. I'm not online looking up what's coming out. I just someday though, man, like I'm gonna rebound and like I want like a walk-in closet with just
it's got
the
to happen.
yeah.
Yeah, like I have a shelf right now that I have in my extra my spare room,
Hmm.
and on that shelf alone is over 100 pairs of shoes.
Oh man, you're killing it. You're gonna
It's
have to have one of
bad.
those fucking YouTube channels come out and you walk them through because you got old heat, man. Like you got stuff like from forever,
Yeah, I got some stuff.
man. Someday,
Shh. I don't need nobody coming to my door.
it's true. We'll keep it on the down low for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We'll do some more sneaker talking on another episode and kind of get more in depth into that because we could probably talk about that for a while. But we got to wrap it up.
yeah,
There's just a couple boxing headlines that we can talk about.
yeah.
So Canelo's facing that scrub later this month. I forget his name. Avni Yildirim, I think his name is. He's
Yeah.
gonna make light work of that guy, and then it's been
Quick.
confirmed that he's gonna fight Billy Joe Saunders in May. Billy Joe Saunders, for people that don't know, is another super middleweight. He's from the UK. He's a southpaw, and he's undefeated, but he doesn't have crazy power. He's 30-0, and I think he's only got like less than 15 knockouts. Um, and he has one of the belts. I I mean, it'll be a better fight than Canelo usually gets because I always am on him for fighting these dudes that just aren't very talented. But I
Yeah,
still just think he makes pretty light work of him and cruises to like a unanimous decision. So
yeah.
that's kind of where
I
I'm
think
at
he's
with it.
getting to that point to where, like, his defensive skills are just, in his head movement is just insane. But one thing that was kind of simple, like, I think you're starting to see more guys out of the UK that are like elite boxers that I don't think we really saw, like, when I was growing up. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about you, but like, you just don't really see, um, the level of talent that's coming out of UK. I mean, I know
Definitely
you had
making a
like Lennox
resurgence.
Lewis and everything, but
Yeah.
as of recently, it's I think it's been a more of an influx of like just boxers out of the UK that are like, yeah, yo, he's nice.
Yeah. I mean, over the last, like you said, 5 years ish, some of the best fighters I've seen have came out from across the pond, bro. Like Tyson Fury, Triple G. I mean, he's not from the UK, but he's from
He's from
wherever he's
across,
from.
yeah,
Yeah, and then obviously,
Klitschko's,
yeah, Klitschko brothers, Loma. It's I think Loma's from the Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it is nuts. And Billy Joe, he's a good fighter. He's a southpaw. I always root for the southpaw. Um, but I can't see it. Uh, I'm gonna Canelo knocks out some people, but like you said, he's more of like a defensive movement guy. Yeah, I just see him kind of cruising to a
his head
decision.
movement is just is probably the best between him and Fury. Is probably some of the best.
Yeah, most definitely. I really wish Triple G was a little younger when they fought, man. That would have been really
Yeah,
interesting because Triple G was murking dudes for a while.
he
Like
was.
it's kind of sad. Like he was one of those dudes that I just think he was at the pound for pound top, but like no one that wasn't a big boxing fan knew who he was. He had no draw. He was this dude
Yeah,
from wherever, Kazakhstan, somewhere crazy, and
yeah,
just never. He got one big pay, like the Canelo paydays, but before that, he just had no exposure, and it was like that. So I can't really blame Canelo because he had to let it build as much as it could for him to get any type of exposure. But like he was just really not like a household name. He was just this, dude that no one knew about. But
yeah.
I don't know. I still think Triple G won that first fight. That was a good fight. It was close.
Yeah, it was a dog ass fight. Like, and you miss those type of fights. You know what I mean? I think that Loma Lopez fight kind of brought it out. Both of
Hmm.
the Fury and Wilder fights kind of brought that
Yeah.
out. So
Well, just when you can see, it's funny you just brought up Loma and Lopez because I see a big connection there. It's like both those fights, you could just see how much the two fighters respected each other's power
mhm.
because they'd engage, but it was like, no one's selling out. No one's,
No,
because they just know the other fighter opposing them is so talented that like you make
they get
one
caught.
move, yep, you're gonna get caught. And all four of them had so, great power. I mean, not really. Loma doesn't really have great power. He's just one of the best boxers I've ever seen. But Lopez
I mean, no,
surely
don't
does.
let's not sleep because the way he put in work on
Who?
what's his name?
Rigondeaux? I
Who
mean, he beat Diego Rigondeaux. He beat a couple years ago,
he
but he
beat
didn't knock him
him?
out. He just made him quit.
No, he not. Didn't he knock out? Who was the guy? Um, we talked about him a little bit last week. That Floyd wasn't really like mentoring him, but he was kind of like in the shadow.
He beat Tank. I thought
Um,
Tank was undefeated.
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about Tank. No, 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 I'm not
Okay.
talking about Tank.
Hmm.
No, it was before. I can't
I
think
don't
of
know,
his
man.
name right now. Fuck it.
Yeah, but he's a great fighter, man. I hope he bounces back. It's I don't know. That was a great fight. I'd like to see another one of those. I don't know if they're planning on doing a rematch, but I mean Lopez gained all my respect, man. I knew who he was, but I'd never sat down and watched a full fight. So I was like, whoa. And you could just tell Loma like really respected his straight right. Like he really steered away from, a shot coming down the pipe and it affected
I mean,
him.
because you look at his fights before that, he has like that fight that was on the same day as the Heisman,
Mm-hmm.
and he clapped that dude with
Yeah.
that right. Like he was stuck, like
Yep.
you know what I mean.
Yep.
So I mean, he Lopez, he's the truth.
He is, man. He is. Hopefully we can get a rematch there. And I mean, let's just wrap it up with this is ridiculous. I mean, maybe you think
The funniest thing ever, bro. Like I don't know what Brandon Marshall was thinking about.
bro, that dude. So Brandon Marshall, I saw another report today. I don't know if he's talking about it on First Things First, but I just keep
He
seeing,
is.
oh my God. So Brandon Marshall, the former receiver for the Bears, the Dolphins, the Broncos,
Jets.
he bounced around. He's a great receiver at one point, but he's now in the gym and he's saying that he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. No one else. He keeps saying if Deontay won't fight him, he's gonna retire. And it's like, bro, you haven't started. You're not retiring from anything. But he really wants to fight Deontay Wilder. And the quote I read today is he would outbox and outclass Deontay Wilder. Do you want to like what's
No, I'm gonna let you ride with this.
I
Let you go
just I
ahead.
don't bro, what the fuck are you just like the blatant disrespect. You know what I mean? Like and like I know
So disrespectful.
like and I know me and you have kind of shit on him in our first episode as far as Deontay doesn't have great boxing skills, but bro, this dude murks professional fighters for a living.
That
Like
part. That part. Like, let's not forget that he put Fury on his ass.
yeah, hard. Like twice. Like
Like what you said, you were surprised he even got up
no,
from
did you?
that.
It looked like his eyes rolled back into his head. It looked like he rose from the dead, like Undertaker, like on
And what you
WWE.
say, what
Like
he do to Ortiz?
yeah, that's the thing.
That
And
would
Ortiz,
happen to Brandon
listen,
Marshall.
and Ortiz is a 10 out of 10 boxer, a Cuban with counter punching. Like Luis Ortiz can box, bro. Like so that I mean, really, Brandon Marshall. Like you think you have any type of? I would bet probably $1,000 that it wouldn't last 2 minutes. Like that's probably where I'd be sitting with that. Like, dude, I would be scared for him, and it would be funny if it got made because can you imagine him talking about it on First Things First, and these other dudes having to be like, "Yo, Brandon, like,
Don't
nah,
do it.
yeah,
Don't
like
do
this
it,
is
bro.
not
Don't
you
do
don't
it.
want this problem, bro."
Don't do it.
I
You
miss
just got to be
Deontay,
careful
man.
of this. I mean, Because I mean, you just, it's almost kind of the same thing when we were talking about with Jake Paul or whatever, the Logan Paul, whatever it is. Like your fights have not been against other guys that are professionals, and now you're about to go up against what is his name,
Ben Askren.
Ben Askew. That's what it is, not Dylan Askew. I was talking about Dylan Davis. Ben Askew, like he's a fighter.
Yeah.
So like this is how he makes his money.
Yeah. Exactly. And he's not a boxer, and he looks pretty slow from all the footage I've watched on him as far as on his feet. But still, bro, he's been hit with these 4-ounce UFC gloves for years. Like, this is like, I don't think, like, yeah, it's just disrespectful, bro. God damn.
All over.
Yeah.
All over.
I don't know. It'll, it won't happen. I mean, I can't see it actually happening, but and that's probably for the best because he could seriously
Wilder has
get hurt.
Bigger fish to fry. He's trying to get that title back, but
yeah,
he ain't gonna be bothered with Brandon Marshall. But I mean, it gives him something to talk about and to pick with Brandon Marshall about. It'll be funny if he responds, though. I would love to see if Deontay needs to respond to that, though. He really does.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to kind of give us something to talk about.
Yeah. Just straight disrespect. You gotta stop disrespecting these boxers, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, this is like, it's a fucking science. Like, these dudes have been doing it their whole lives. Like, it's not like you can just walk in here and like, yeah, I fought some people before. Like, bro, this is a sport.
Yeah, but
like,
you ain't fought me.
Yeah,
I do this for a living.
Exactly.